My name is Paul Utomi. I am an actor, director, writer, content creator, voiceover artist. I have been doing this for, I'd say, close to 2 decades now. Honestly, the thought has crossed my mind on several occasions, but no, no, I think it's safe to say I haven't really considered it. Yes, I have thought about it. I have thought about what it might entail, but I haven't ever really come close to making that decision, at least not yet. A lot of things could be much better here. Economically, it has been fraught with a lot of uncertainties. It's really not easy to plan because almost every month there is a fresh exchange rate. There is a lack of electricity, petrol, diesel. Sometimes it feels like a lot of the laws and policies that the government, both states and federal, put in place are not designed to help small businesses and the creative economy. Some of the things I stated earlier: economic uncertainty, civil unrest. We currently, I think it's safe to say, we have a security challenge with everything that's going on with the kidnappings, both in the north, the middle belt, even in the south, and some other parts of Nigeria. Corruption is at an all-time high in almost every institution. You can find some sort of corruption. These are things that make it difficult for people to have any hope for the future of this country. So I think all of these things, or some of these things, play into people's thought processes, and they probably feel that it might be best for them to look for a better life elsewhere. Honestly, it's made it, I would say, sharper, more earnest. Um, I don't know if all of those things are happening because or in spite of Nigeria, but yeah, I feel living here, meeting people every day, talking to people, understanding their challenges, their fears, their concerns, and their hopes and dreams. I am able to create more vivid story worlds and write more compelling characters, or create more compelling characters. I will never relocate or leave the country in search of pastures new, but at this moment in time, this is what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm hopeful that things will improve. The people who have opted to stay back and work on building the industry are doing the Lord's work. It's not easy. Every little helps. We are growing in stature, and we are little by little gaining international respect and acceptance, which is important because if we gain international respect and acceptance, it's easier to seek for international investment and funding for local projects. So that's a good thing. We are opening up ourselves to a global audience by putting our films and our products and our content on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook. And there are lots of people in diaspora, people in Asia, Africans in North America, in Europe, who are beginning to find our content. And some of them are falling in love with it, and we're grateful for all of that. The thing is this, honestly, practically, if you look at it, there is a chance that on the average, a Nigerian living abroad has more spending power. They have access to more funds, more resources. So if a Nigerian act or artist, if you're looking at our music industry, steps outside this country to perform in clubs in Europe or in North America, and Nigerians come out in droves to support, these artists tend to make more money than they probably would have made if they were doing the same type of shows with the same number of people here. If you look at Nollywood, I think it's safe to say that with the advent of YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, it's easier to reach a foreign audience. And when you look at Facebook ads, foreign Facebook ads, and there are a lot of West Africans in Europe who are watching these contents, it's easier to get a higher payout on some of these platforms. And some of our Nollywood colleagues are beginning to see this trend and are trying to take advantage of it. Well, yes, they have contributed immensely. They have brought a fresh perspective. They have brought new ideas. Their experience also helps in shaping and growing our industry. The things they've learned from their practice outside the country, in other continents, these things are invaluable. And when they share their knowledge of international best practices with us, it forces us to up our game. And it's always a good thing when people from the West, people from North America, people from South America, and Nigerians and Africans from Asia come back here and share their perspective on the things we can be doing better and things that we are doing well. First things first, more power to them. Some people have an adventurous spirit, and that's a good thing. I think it's something worth acknowledging and probably celebrating. So to those of us, or my colleagues and friends who have relocated, I wish them the best. I'm sure some of them are doing exceedingly well. I'm actually privy to information that seems to suggest that they made the right decision to explore new chapters in their journeys. And I'm happy for a lot of them where they are now in their lives and the kind of people they are becoming. I think you'll have no complaints from me about people in my industry who choose to relocate. No, I don't feel left behind. The thing is, if I had wanted to relocate, I probably could have. But at this point in my life, I am happy to be making content, to be telling stories that I hope resonate with people, to be performing in front of a camera, and to be working in a space that I have a lot of hope for. Will this change in the near future? I don't know. But right now, I do not feel left behind. I think a lot more can still be done by the government. The truth is, the government aren't doing nearly enough and aren't supervising the things they claim to be doing nearly enough. I think the federal government and state government can do a lot more to support the entertainment industry and to help it grow. For the individuals who are leaving, they're probably doing so because a lot of them probably feel they have no other choice. And I sincerely hope that a lot of them succeed at whatever it is they choose to do, wherever it is they end up. I hope they can build communities. I hope they can find peace, success, and satisfaction. It's not an easy thing to decide to leave your country and go to a foreign land and set up shop and begin to build a family, begin to build relationships, learning new language, learn how they do things differently from where you're coming from all over again. these things aren't easy. So when people decide to do these things, one can only be supportive and encourage them as best as we can, and wish them the very best. Because the truth is, most people who make this decision make it out of quote unquote necessity. If a lot of things were in place in our society, in our economy, many people wouldn't feel compelled to pack up their things, their life, and relocate. So when I look at it on a case-by-case basis, you can't really fault anyone who decides to leave the country. So from that angle, brain drain, to them, it's not brain drain. To the people who are leaving, it's really not brain drain. They're going somewhere where they can activate their brains, is how they see it, where they can optimize their abilities, where they can make the most out of this life. Because we all have a finite time on this planet, and when our time is up, our time is up. And if you really don't want to be filled with regrets, that's the truth. So for the individuals who decide to take the plunge, kudos to them. But as a society, it's really not a nice thing. It's not healthy, because it robs us of not only our present, but of our future, economically, socially, socioculturally. But you ask what the government can do, they can do their job. That's really it. There's no point in trying to tell people to stay back or convince them with words to stay back, when they can all see that most of the people in power aren't interested in fixing anything but their own pockets, aren't interested in creating actual wealth for the people they claim to represent. All they're interested in doing is enriching themselves. And I'm not trying to be controversial or anything, but that is what it has been for a long time. For as long as me and most of the people I know have been conscious, it has been that way. And you cannot be sitting in an air-conditioned office somewhere in Abuja or wherever, government house somewhere in the state capital, and then you're living large, you're complicit when it comes to turning your face away when people embezzle funds, when people are corrupt, and you're telling the downtrodden, the needy, the hungry that they should stay back and build a country that you are unwilling to build yourself. That's disingenuous. And in my experience, personally, the incidents I have witnessed, it has been largely positive. Yes, there are some growing pains. It can't be easy living thousands of miles away from your kids or your wife or husband, but the end always seems to justify the means, in my experience anyway. I'm not saying it's all beer and skittles, it's not all rosy, but when you weigh the pros and the cons, the pros always outstrip the cons, in my humble experience and opinion. We all have different paths and different journeys in life. You can succeed here, but you can also succeed anywhere else in the world if you are talented and you have a healthy work ethic. I would say, if we're looking to build this society, it would be nice if most of the really talented people in front of and behind the camera working here, are gainfully employed here, are able to express themselves creatively as fully as possible here. And if that is not the case, if they need to, for any reason, because the truth is this, there are some fields, creative fields and endeavors, where it probably is best for you to move to LA or for you to move to Europe. That's the truth. That's just the truth. I don't think it's an either-or situation. For some young people, it makes sense to journey far and wide in search of fame and fortune. And for some people, it makes sense to stay back here and try and build something that can endure. Whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat, to each his own. is what I would say.